Hello, I'm Rachel Pickworth from Mad Leaders, and the topic today is all about how to support leaders to shift from a place where perhaps they're waiting for the organisation to drive their development, support their development. How do we shift them from that place to a place where they feel they're empowered to drive their own growth, their own development within the business? So everything I'm drawing on today in this topic, I'm pulling from my Elevate in 90 Days program, a program specifically designed to support leaders with the critical tools and systems and structure, the foundations to support them to lead more effectively. It really sets them up for success. So what I find, I've been working with leaders for many years as a coach and a trainer, and what I know is that often what happens is leaders in organizations are sitting back waiting for the business to drive their development and their growth. And they're not really sure how to drive it themselves or if they're even allowed to. So there's sort of a leaning back, if you like, in terms of their energy. They're sitting back and they're kind of waiting to be supported. And one of the fundamental things for me as a coach and with my work is to help that critical shift, that mindset shift, where people start to feel they have permission and the know-how to drive their own development. And when they shift from kind of complacent or sitting back into the driver's seat, they're then able to move their development along, move their brand forward, progress their career pathways, and make a greater impact in the business. So the ways to do this and the ways that I incorporate this into the program, and I'm sharing this with you if you're a leader or if you're responsible for developing leaders in the business, I'm sharing this with you because you may be interested in the program, but also you may be able to embed some of these systems or structures into your business. So one of the key things that I do all the way through the program is constantly put a focus on you're in the driver's seat. You have the responsibility to move yourself forward and your skill set and your capability and your career potential. And that is spoken about the whole time. And so I encourage in your business with you or with your leaders is to constantly put development and being responsible for that at the forefront, speaking about it all the time, making it a foundation of conversation throughout the year, throughout the months. One other thing to do is bring the topic always back to goals. Where are you going? What do you want? Where are you headed? And empower them in a way to communicate that. One of the things I do in the program is help everyone in the first live workshop to craft a why statement. We do a purpose activity, we look at strengths and what lights people up, and then to craft a why statement based on Simon Sinek's books, so that they're clear for themselves around what lights them up, what drives them, what their mission is, their purpose, and how to articulate that to those around them in the business so people are clear about how they bring value, but also how they want to bring value. And it can align with their pathways and their opportunities that open up. I also get them to set up goals, short, medium, long-term goals, and then to articulate those goals to people in the business. The other thing that I do is empower them with a system to assess themselves against leadership capabilities, give them a tool to do that. It's not just about going out to get feedback or perhaps giving them feedback at, say, an annual review or something like that. This is about them recognizing what they're reaching for and having a tool and a process to go out and seek that feedback, assess themselves first, build that self-awareness, but then to reach out to the business on a regular basis. In the program, I encourage every 3 to 6 months to seek feedback. So there's a constant focus on growth. Where next? Where next? Where next? Get feedback. Understand how you're perceived. Grow again. Then what next? So there's a constant expectation to have a 90-day cycle of growth, a 90-day view of growth and progression, and to seek out feedback to understand how to grow, and seeking out to various people, because everyone in the business has a different viewpoint. So what's critical here is giving the people, the leaders in the business, permission. And just that in itself is a big shift for people to go, oh, it's okay for me to drive my development. I wasn't sure that I could. Or, oh, and here's a tool to drive my own development. So just empowering them with that mindset shift, and also the tools to then assess themselves, create goals, go out to seek feedback, circle back for feedback, circle back to demonstrate growth. That process in itself is very powerful. Then we want to put those things in the calendar. So that's the next stage of the program. And then further down the track, it's about delivery planning and working on that. It's about seeking out mentors in the business. It's about having a communication strategy, a strategic communication strategy, to be able to reach out to people in the business, to demonstrate growth, to ask for opportunities for development, and so on. And so when we're thinking about how do we shift leaders from a place of waiting for the business to take action around that development, if we can shift these individuals into that place of owning and driving their own development, their own career pathways, and then when you think of that from a number of leaders across a team, or a number of leaders across different levels in an organization, if we can get all of these individuals leaning in, having that shift in energy, driving their own development, then you're seeing growth that is across the business. So the exponential growth, the ripple effect there is great. It also then creates a culture of growth, a culture of mindset, of a growth mindset, a culture where people are supporting each other to grow and develop, and feedback becomes a norm, and the growth and development conversation becomes embedded in the business. So exciting. I'm passionate about this, but it just can make such a difference to a business and to those who are trying to elevate leaders, when we've got the leaders who are driving themselves. So I hope that helps. If you're wanting more, the Elevate 90 Days program is a 90 days program for managers, team leaders, executives in a business. There will be a button here that can support you to learn more. The program is run 4 times per year, and there are also customized options where you can integrate it into your business and have a branded program that may be of interest. Though there is information here below. So I hope that's been helpful. I look forward to reaching out with my next video. I'm posting videos every couple of weeks, every now and then, to just support you to develop and elevate, uplift that leadership skill set, that capability in the business, not just leadership, but management as well, and to support you, if you're a leader, to elevate your leadership, your impact, your effectiveness, and make a greater difference in this time when you're here to do this work. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.